What's going on, guys? Devil's Advocate Boxing. I just want to do a post-fight video for the Canelo Alvarez Floyd Mayweather fight and the Danny Garcia Lucas Matthysse fight. Um, if you go back and check my prediction video, both of these fights, well, no, I'm not going to say both of them, but definitely the Floyd Mayweather Canelo Alvarez fight went pretty much how I expected it to go. I told you guys that this fight would not be as hard as most people thought it would be for Floyd Mayweather. And I try to tell you guys, and I'm not going to say names because, a lot of the other prediction videos that I heard and people that I heard talking about the fight, I respect these guys. I respect their opinion, their boxing knowledge, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of the things that you guys were basing your predictions off of were just completely off, and it proved itself in the fight. Canelo was getting popped with the jab all night. He gassed out real early. If you guys can tell, honestly, after the second round, I knew it was over. I knew it was over. I mean, just the look in Canelo's face, the way he was breathing, I knew he was gassed, and Mayweather was just going to toy with him for the rest of the fight. A lot of people said that he would do better than Cotto and De La Hoya for sure. I said that was absolutely wrong because of the fact that De La Hoya and Cotto, like I said, were both left-handed orthodox fighters. Very accurate, very powerful jabs, very accurate, very powerful hooks. That's the side of Mayweather's body that is open. The right hand isn't really there for an orthodox fighter. Especially not one. You're not going to hit Mayweather with one punch. The success that Cotto and De La Hoya had were from throwing multiple hooks and jabs in succession. Mixing up body, head, head. That's where their success came from, and Canelo did not have that trait. And a lot of you guys are calling bullshit, saying that that doesn't make too much of a difference, and that it'll be different this time because they didn't have right hands and Canelo has a right hand. The right hand is not what was important in this fight at all. I told you guys it was all about the jabs. That is what gave, at least for the Cotto fight, that was his meal ticket. And Canelo just didn't have that. Another thing, I said, I thought that Canelo had a much better chance of actually trying to box Floyd than being a pressure fighter, because that would just take him completely out of his element. He ain't a pressure fighter, like I said. So, I think he would have looked even more stupid, and he would have been susceptible to even more punishment if he would have tried to be something that he's not. Like I said, you have to exploit what you're good at. And, Canelo is a good thinking boxer, but, like I also said, just like you don't hook with a hooker, you don't play chess with the chess player, you're gonna lose. Okay, you don't try to outbox the best boxer on the planet, hands down. That's just not how it works. I knew Canelo's weight was gonna be, like I said, I said no, on one of my videos I said no more than 164, and then I changed it to no more than 165. He came in at 165 on the dot. Um, you know, these are all things like you don't have to be a boxing expert to analyze these things. And it's just kind of mind-boggling to me how many comments I got and how many other people's videos that I heard that were just playing this fight up to be, so much of a hard fight for Floyd Mayweather. And I'm not going to pretend like I could tell the future, but if you know your boxing and you can analyze what's going to happen, you know, this fight shouldn't have been too much of a shocker for any of you. Um, you know, like I said, he tried to play chess with the best chess player of all time. Like, that's a recipe for disaster. And you know, I gotta make a couple comments about the people who came onto my videos talking shit. Freddie Morales or whatever, you need to punch yourself in the face 3 times, or whatever the fuck you said to me, because I know you feel stupid as shit right now. And you know, you 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 guys, I'm just saying, you guys discredit yourself immediately when you come on to other people's pages speaking with so much conviction, like you can tell the fucking future. You know, Canelo's gonna knock Mayweather out in 6 rounds. Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, be real, man. You guys need to start being real. Accept that this guy is quite possibly the best fighter who ever lived. Okay? Shout out to 7-8 Sports TV. He's finally starting to admit it. He says if Mayweather finishes his career undefeated, that we need to have a serious discussion about whether or not he's the best fighter of all time. I'm ready to have that discussion right now. Whoever wants to debate, hit me up. I mean, you know, I ain't an asshole. I ain't a stubborn person. If you make good points, I won't argue, because, like I said, I'm on here to learn. But I I think he's at least top 3 best fighters of all time. I mean, he just put on a masterclass clinic against a good boxer that outweighed him by 15 pounds and was, what, 13 years younger than him? I mean, when have you seen that happen in history? Especially when it's this dominant. And I hear a lot of people trying to say now that Canelo was a hype job and he ain't shit and he was groomed to lose to Mayweather. Man, just stop, dude. Like, come on, man. When are you guys just gonna start being real with yourselves, man? I knew that there would be a ton of excuses after this fight. And no matter who Mayweather fights next, there's gonna be excuses, and he's not gonna be appreciated until 10 years after he's gone. When you guys are talking to your kids about boxing and they ask you who the best fighter of all time is, Mayweather's gonna pop into your fucking head, and you're not gonna be able to help it, because you're gonna remember how dominant this guy was. 36 years old, about to be 37, beating the shit out of 23-year-old guys that are, experienced, lineal champions, weight classes above him. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Like, I guess I'm just gonna have to accept the fact that you guys are haters, and you're gonna hate until the day you die. I mean, if that's what makes you guys happy, whatever floats your boat. But you ain't convincing me. I see right through the bullshit, and it's time for you guys to give this man his props. Now, that being said, there is one thing. I'm not one to bullshit. I think Canelo may have been a little affected by the weight. Okay, he looked a little bit too skinny to me, to be honest. Do I think it would have made a difference, judging by the way the fight went? Absolutely not. I mean, he could have been heavier. He could have had a little more stamina. He still would have got his ass, you know, he still would have got taught a boxing lesson. Point blank, period. Whether you guys want to admit it or not. And, yeah, that's the only thing that I'm gonna give Canelo, is that maybe he was a little bit affected by his body condition. You know, maybe he's used to having a little more muscle, a little more body fat on him, uh, a little more water weight. I already explained that in one of my previous videos, that just because you're super cut and as trim as you could possibly be doesn't mean that you're in the best condition you could possibly be. And I think that may have been the case a little bit in this fight. But, like I said, in my opinion, it would not have made a difference whatsoever. Okay? Like I said, Mayweather he had the ring generalship to make him follow him when he wanted, to walk him down when he wanted. Like I said, he's had the reach advantage, and surprisingly the height advantage. That really shocked the shit out of me when I saw him face to face. I was like, wow, I thought Canelo was a little bit taller than that, but I guess not. But back to what I was saying, Mayweather had the reach advantage. He fights taller. I knew he was going to be able to pop him with that jab at will. Okay. He brought out the uppercut in this fight. He brought out the lead left hook. And, it was just a masterful performance. It was beautiful. And yeah, man, you guys can hate all you want, but just, consider having some credibility and just giving the man his due, his just due. What's next for Canelo? I don't really know. I mean, I think he can do pretty well at 154. I think a guy like Lara might give him some good issues. But to be honest with you, with his body frame and the way he's built, I really can't see him going up to like 160 and being successful. He's going to get older. It's going to get much harder for him to cut down to 154. And, physically, the way he was built and the way he was born, he's just not... I don't think he's built to be a boxer. I'm not taking away his skills. I'm just saying physically, the way he is, the way he's so short and stocky, combined with his fighting style, is not going to carry when he goes up to 160, when he has to go up to 160, because I promise you guys, give it a year or two, he ain't going to be making 154 anymore. That's for damn sure. Yeah, I really, I don't know how far this kid goes. I really don't. Golden Boy may be able to protect him. And, maybe I'm wrong. But my early prediction is that he will probably fizzle out within the next 3 years or so. Probably take a couple more losses. But hey, that's just my early prediction. I could be completely wrong about that. What's next for Mayweather? Danny Garcia is probably the most logical choice right now, but sadly, Danny Garcia will get toyed with the exact same way. I mean, nothing about Danny Garcia is really spectacular, like I said. I think he's a well-rounded boxer. He proved that against Matthysse. I predicted that he would win by unanimous decision, and then, the doubt struck me once again, and I was telling people, like, you know what, I don't know about this anymore. Does he have the ability to outbox Matthysse? Yes, he does. like I said, if you watch him, it only takes, to me, someone only has to do something a few times for me to say, okay, he has the ability to do that. However, will these guys go out and do what they're supposed to do every time? No. And, a couple days before the fight, I started having little doubts, like, man, he's going to get lured into a firefight with Matthysse, and it's not going to be good for him. But he stayed poised. He boxed, man. He boxed pretty well. He was countering Matthysse. He did a number on that right eye, and I'm impressed with the kid. Like, I think if he stays away from Floyd Mayweather, he's got a good future at 140 or 147. That's just my honest opinion. And this is another fight where, all you guys who doubted Danny Garcia or said that this fight was a blowout and he was going to get knocked out in the first round or third round or whatever, punch yourself in the face real quick. For me, please, just punch yourself in the face. When you speak with that much conviction about something and you're this wrong, you need to own up to it, okay? And this is the fight where I see a lot of people coming out with excuses. Oh, Danny fought dirty. Danny did this. Danny low-blowed him. I mean, come on, guys. Danny won this fight convincingly, low blows or not. Like, I don't hear people talking shit about Abner Mares for, what looks like consistent intentional low blows on other fighters. People are still on, or were still on, Abner Mares' nuts, and that guy is just about as dirty as a fighter as it gets. So, like I said, just punch yourself in the face real quick, just for me. Shout out to Carcino, Dante's Boxing Nation, a couple more channels that actually saw this shit for what it was, a 50-50 fight. And, extra props go to the people who picked Danny Garcia to win. Like I said, in my prediction video, I did pick exactly this. Danny Garcia by unanimous decision. And then, I started having doubts whether he would stay poised and keep boxing or not. But I knew that if he actually just boxed, he had a good possibility of winning this fight. Okay? Last thing I want to talk about. Does anyone else feel like Matthysse might have been juicing before this? Because he, not taking anything away from Danny Garcia, but he didn't quite look like the same Matthysse to me. I mean, Zab Judah put more of a hurting on Danny Garcia than Matthysse, did. Matthysse didn't even really get close to knocking Garcia out, in my opinion. He didn't have him scared. He didn't have him, none of that. It was a boxing match. That's all it was. There was no point in the fight where I was like, oh shit, Garcia's gonna get knocked out. That never happened. And I don't know whether to just give Danny Garcia full credit or to say, hey, maybe this is the first fight where Matthysse had to do random blood testing. So, I think he might have been on those power pellets, man. That's just my honest opinion. That's just what I saw. I really want to know you guys' opinion on that. Man, drop a comment, subscribe. Peace.